Hey, good morning, Knicks Nation. I hope that this weekend is being good to you. I've had a good weekend myself. I hope you guys have been enjoying your weekend. Greetings to Knicks Nation. Blessings upon you and your family. I hope that this Sunday finds you healthy and safe today. Blessings also to your family and your house, and upon those that do things like work in healthcare, or the first responders who on days like this are out trying to save lives. Blessings upon them. And on the people that pick up garbage off our streets, our sidewalks, our parks, our highways, to keep them clean. And those also that make deliveries of food for us. And many of you guys are going to be ordering food for the Giants game coming up in less than about an hour. You're going to be ordering food and somebody's going to deliver that food. Make sure you take care of them. Make sure you tip them well, because they're making it easy for you. And of course, you go into a supermarket today, a Costco, or Sam's Club, or wherever you go, there's food there. You expect there to be food there. Somebody delivered that food. Somebody delivered that water for you. Don't take that for granted. Blessings upon them, and double blessings on the men and women trying to help rescue, recover, and deliver the people, the children, and the teenagers that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. Also, those people that are victims of prostitution and child prostitution. Those people also that are victims of human trafficking and sex slavery and pornography and child pornography. Double blessings upon them, and double curses on the perpetrators, the perverts, and those profiteers who traffic in this human misery. I just want to say something about that. Yeah, a couple of people. I got two different people that came at me talking about, this problem in sex trafficking originates at our southern border. That is some BS. Don't listen to the propaganda. Let me just tell you this real quick. 70%, more than 70% of convicted sex offenders in the United States are Caucasian American-born white males. Just remember that when Fox News starts talking about the southern border and this bull crap. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. Nearly 600,000 men, women, and children. United States of America on the streets, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions, and blessings upon them. For theirs is the kingdom. Now, brothers and sisters, the Knicks and Knicks Nation, welcome also to the chat. Conley B, Bostino, Nick Fan and ATL, Mr. Jordanson, superstar, my brother, 2189, Bronx all day, Hey Yo 25, Wendell Hunt, Ververa, my man Stoop Kid Studios, Kenneth Lane, Jay Chill, Cash Out James, my man, Organic, my man, Ruel. So the Knicks just finished the preseason 3-1. The Knicks just finished the preseason. My man T-Bone Steak the Butcher, what's up? The only DM Dawson, what's up? They just finished the preseason 3-1. It's always good to win, but it's better to win when it counts. Right? It's always good to win. By the way, I got my Knicks hat right here. I don't feel like wearing it this morning. It's always good to win, but it's better to win when it counts, right? So what are we doing with the preseason? What are we doing with the preseason? What we're trying to do with the preseason is get a general feel for the direction of the team, for the development of the team, for what the team's going to look like going forward. And of course, with regard to Tom Thibodaux, what is his plans for the team? What is his game plan? What is he going to do with this team? And the reason, of course, we know that these is an important question is because, like we know, 2 years ago, obviously, the Knicks were 4th seed in the East, but nobody was in the stands. Then when people did get in the stands, well, we see what happened. We got wiped off in the first round by the Atlanta Hawks. Leprechaun and his crew took us out, and they was laughing at us. Then last year, people called it, even my man Ian Begley called it a disappointing season. And I'm not going to say it wasn't disappointing, but I look at it more historically, and I'm saying 17 win seasons with Jeff Hornacek and Fizz Goggles and Derek Fisher. And I'm saying Shoot. If we won 37 in one of them years, I'd have been satisfied. See what I mean? So, yeah, it was disappointing, but hey, we've seen, if you've been around Knicks Nation for a minute, believe me, we've seen worse, okay? So that wasn't too bad. And overall, as I mentioned to you guys, we need to look at this and understand. The Knicks were in rebuild mode when Tom Thibodeaux came. That was the dichotomy. That was the issue that was kind of confusing. The Knicks were in rebuild mode that year, but they hired a coach that don't know nothing about rebuild, right? They had a coach that don't know nothing about rebuild. He don't care about no rebuild. That's not even in his vocabulary, rebuild, right? But they were in rebuild mode, okay? And what told us that is the direction that the president, Leon Rose, had put out. Every time he does make a statement, he talks about development of the youth. Malik Shabazz, my man, how you doing? He talks about development of the youth. Every time he makes a statement, I know the media and the people that want to get at him with all these questions don't like when he comes out with these prepared media things. I don't mind it myself because he does give you information if you want to hear. The thing is, people want to hear what they want to hear. That's part of don't let me get on my soapbox, but that's part of society's problem. Instead of listening for what it is, they want to hear what they want to hear. And so, when Leon Rose makes statements, there's things people want to hear, they're not hearing, so they get all frustrated, particularly in the media. But he does always mention the youth, and that, to me, set the tone for the direction going forward. He was developing the youth, and so the hiring of Tom Thibodeaux was confusing on many levels because of that, right? We all admonished that, and so he's not a development coach, but that doesn't change the fact that the Knicks did get all of these young players, accumulated all of these draft assets, right? That don't change that fact. That overrides who Thibodeaux is. That overrides it. So that you get to a point where there's like what they call in science like a critical mass. Like, in other words, it gets to the point where the rebuild and Thibs' philosophy of win now are going to bump heads. And last year, we kind of saw that. Now, this year, what helps both sides of this equation is, for example, you have Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson was drafted in the second round 4 years ago, 2018. Mitchell Robinson was in development. He's a five, athletic five, and athletic fives. As I always say, the two difficult positions to play in the NBA are the 5 and the 1. Those are the two most difficult positions, in my opinion, to play. The 1 has to control the tempo of the team, direct the team, organize the team, recognize things like how much time is on the clock, how many timeouts you got, how many fouls everybody has. The point guard has to know all that and recognize it and really move the team along. The 5-man is a similar situation, but he defensively has to call out all the plays, call out where everybody's going to be, call out where to help out, where to not help out. The defensive, and then, of course, do his job and guard his man, and oftentimes guard his man and another man at the same time. So those are, to me, the two most difficult positions to learn. So Mitchell Robinson is common in that when you get an athletic big like him, a lot of athletic bigs, guys that are tall, long, pogo stick-like, it's going to take them 2 seasons just to develop before you start seeing some things in year 3. And that's why a lot of people will write Mitch off. He's always in foul trouble because they cursory and don't understand the game. It's going to take him 2 years just to figure out the game in the NBA. The speed of the game, how to yell out, call out plays, how to take charges, how to stay on his feet. All of that takes time. The league is the best basketball players in the world, the fastest, the quickest. And so the strongest. And so the game moves at a speed that no other basketball game on planet Earth moves at. So it takes everybody time, but especially a guy at the 5. But if you paid any attention, if you saw Mitchell Robinson in high school, if you saw the highlights of him, you knew there was talent there. And the fact that the Knicks got him in the second round was a complete steal, okay? Complete steal. So it just took time for him to develop. Now, and I always say one of the key development points of Mitchell Robinson's career was when DeAndre Jordan came to the Knicks in the Kristaps Porzingis trade. He came to the Knicks It's part of the trade. Thank you, 2189. That's right. Different field of views. That's exactly right. And they're both very difficult. But he came to the Knicks and he helped. Mitchell Robinson stated that Jordan helped him in terms of understanding how to run a defense from the 5 spot, which he's the quarterback of the defense on the 5 spot, and how to be vocal and how to stay on his feet. And he also, if you remember, he was very playful with Mitch Rob, because Mitch Rob is a fun-loving, painful type dude. You could get that when you see him talking to media. The media loves talking to him. He's a great interview because he's joking around. He's very loose. He's not, and so DeAndre Jordan is like that, and they connected that year. Jordan and him was teasing each other and playing. It was one of the best things that happened to the Knicks to get DeAndre Jordan for that half a season that they got him, because it helped Mitchell Robinson's development. The third year of Mitch Rob, he was really about to move forward, but then he broke his foot. First, he broke his hand on Julius Randle's elbow. Then he broke his foot when Brook Lopez dirty played him. Okay. Against Milwaukee, he broke his foot, and that messed him up because now he was out. And then that summer he couldn't work out. Okay. And people were saying, well, why he put on his weight? He couldn't work out. He couldn't do anything on his feet. He couldn't run. So he lifted and he got real big, which he shouldn't have did. Then he took half of last year getting that weight off of him, right? While his foot was healed. He didn't even have clearance to play full 5-on-5 until after the preseason started last year. So he was behind. Then, of course, all of the haters, we need to trade him. He's not worth all of this money. We don't need to re-sign him. Again, you're blind. You don't know what you're talking about. You never did, because the boy was the deal when he came in the league. I thought so I couldn't believe we got him in the second round. And then he just needed time to develop. Okay. So now we get Mitch Rob. Okay. We get Mitch Rob. He's in shape. He's finished 4 seasons. He is developed. And he's more mature as a basketball player, as a 5. And not only that, we know, and I think most of us will agree, over the first 4 seasons of Mitchell Robinson, and in spite of, and I liked how he defended Alec Burks in that last press conference. He defended Alec Burks in that last. Did y'all see that? But he really did not have a point guard. See, a reporter said, "How does it feel to have a real point guard?" And Mitch said, "That's rude." And he stuck up for Alec Burks. That's what you want, right? What else he's going to say? Yeah, Alec Burks wasn't a real point guard. He's not going to do that. So he stuck up for Alec Burks, even though Alec Burks in the team. That's a high quality right there. I like that character. So he said, "No, that's rude. Alec Burks was a good point guard, blah, blah." But the real is, I think all of us in Knicks Nation understand he didn't have a point guard for his first 4 years in the league. The closest thing he had to a point guard was Elfrid Payton. And he was actually playing his best ball before he broke his foot with Elfrid Payton. And then when they got Derrick Rose, it was going to go on another level. And then, of course, we only had Derrick Rose for a short time before he got hurt, right? So now he's got a real point guard. And if you go back a couple of videos in the archives, I remember saying to y'all, there's going to come a game, probably 2 or 3, where he's just going to completely take over a game. Like, it's going to be one of them nights where we're winning this game tonight and I'm taking over. You're going to get a couple of games like that this year from Mitchell Robinson. And the reason you're going to get those games is because he has a real point guard. And his talent is just what it is, okay? So when they played the Wizards, y'all seen him playing against Daniel Gafford. And then, of course, he played 2 games against the guy. A lot of y'all was like, well, we need to trade Mitchell Robinson and get Miles Turner. We need Miles Turner. We need Miles Turner. We need Miles Turner. Mitch Rob eat that boy alive. Okay? We don't need no Miles Turner. And we end up getting Mitchell Robinson 4 years, $60 million. That's a steal. That's a steal. They paying Miles Turner at least $80 million. Okay. They paying Jared Allen $100 million. They paying Clint Capella $90 million. we got Mitchell Robinson for a steal. And you know why? In my opinion, if we had Mitchell Robinson against Atlanta, we wouldn't have lost in 5 games. We may have lost in 6 or 7, maybe, but it would have been a tougher out with Mitchell Robinson back there. Okay. So now you got him with a point guard. Friday night, he goes for 20 points, 12 boards, two blocks, 2 steals. Did y'all see him do that crossover though? Wait, did y'all see it? Man, I said Mitch Rob said he was going to do the cross, and he did. So I'm telling y'all, if he can stay healthy, and that's the question with every player, right? I'm always concerned with his health. If he can stay healthy, thank you, 2189 for $20, $2 super chat. Sorry, and that's right. Miles Turner wasn't needed. That's right. So he himself is going to win us some games this year. That's the thing. One of the things every team wants is you want a team that operates together on a high level so you can win basketball games as a team, right? And then it's nice to have a player or two that any given night can take over a game and say, we're going to win this game tonight because this dude is going off. It's nice to have guys like that. So Mitchell Robinson is going to be able to do that for us a few times this year. He's going to be able to take over a game. Somebody's going to be unfortunate enough to come in on a night where he's just feeling it, and he's going to take over a game. And when he does, it's blocks, it's rebounds, offensive rebounds, and of course, the putbacks. And now you're going to see him, sealing people off, and getting the ball down low. I'm excited just about that. But that's one thing. Then let's talk about the reason, aside from his experience and development and getting in shape and all of that. And then, of course, listen, I think if you want to stop, hating for a minute, you got to give Tom Thibodaux some credit here too, because he has helped toughen Mitchell Robinson up. He has helped Mitchell Robinson develop over the 3 years that he's been here. And so you got to give him some credit for putting Mitchell Robinson in the position where he is right now. And so, I know some of y'all just want to hate and crap and diarrhea on people without stopping, but you got to give credit where credit is due. And I give Tibbs a lot of credit with helping with Mitchell Robinson. Now, the reason also he's going to be able to go off, aside from that, is the fact that Jalen Brunson is on the team. Now, Jalen Brunson, the thing is, what I saw in the playoffs, he won me over in the playoffs this past season. If you operate at a high level in the playoffs, you're going to win me, because to me, the playoff basketball in the greatest league in the world is the highest level of basketball play. Okay, that's the highest level. That's the biggest stage. That's the most pressure in the playoffs in the NBA. And he played his best in the playoffs in the NBA. And he did it against guys like Donovan Mitchell. He wasn't no scrub. He was doing business against Donovan Mitchell. Like, I was not with the signing of, and thank you for the super chat, Keith Watkins. Best contact, you do my contribution, your effort, sir. Thank you, sir. I greatly appreciate that. Not going to ask the live calls today. Sorry, I can't do it yet. All right, Mitch Rob will be the future top 3 for 5. That's right. I like him. Tom Thibodeau already says he's the best rim protector and offensive rebounder in the NBA, and I ain't gonna argue with that. So I agree with that. 21. Thank you, Keith. I appreciate that. But the thing about Brunson, I was not with his signing. When they first started talking about it during last season, I was not with it. And the reason I wasn't with it is because I wanted Deuce and Quickly to battle it out for the point guard position, starting point guard position, and for the minutes. And I didn't want anybody to interfere. And I did not think, as much as I knew even then that Brunson had a background as a winner at Villanova. I didn't really know about his high school stuff till after the season. I did more research, but his college resume was tight. He had 2 NCAA championships. He was a leader, obviously. Not the most talented. That's the way I viewed him. Not the most talented, naturally talented, but a natural leader. I didn't think that was enough for the Knicks to play. And at the time, if y'all remember, They were offering him, I think, $60 million in Dallas after they didn't offer that to him at first. He turned it down, and the rumor was he wanted $80 million. And I was like, no, I didn't want that. Okay, because I felt like the two guards we have on rookie deals, and they're ready to be tested, right? So I wanted them to do it, and we had D Rose also as an older dude to help them. So I wanted that. So I wasn't big into Jalen Brunson, but when he dropped 40 in the playoffs, when he was playing without Luka Doncic and dominating the game with his mind, that's the key thing. It was with his mind, man. He won me. That was it. I was like, okay, I was wrong. Let's get this dude if we can. I wasn't still expecting them to pay $100 million for him, but then when I did an analysis of the situation in terms of the future salary cap and what point guards get in the NBA when they're starting, I said, okay, that's a more than reasonable deal. Actually, the $104 million. It wasn't as outrageous as I thought it was, based on what the salary cap's going to raise to, based on the new TV deal, based on China, them winning back China after offending them a couple of years ago. The NBA winning them back in favor, all of that coming, and then of course just the way NBA point guards are paid. So now, as I'm looking at him, and again, he's already proven he's a leader. He's already proven that in the highest stage, in the biggest moment, he can play. Okay, that's big time. And so I'm telling you this, he's going to get better. And I'm not saying he's going to jump, 48 inches, or he's going to become Stephen Curry from the three. No, his IQ is going to get better. It already is. You could see it in the daggone, now that he's the leader, now that he's appointed the leader, he gave him the keys. His IQ, he wins with his mind. He wins with his IQ. And he has, again, to me, and I always say DeMar DeRozan has the best footwork to me in the NBA that I've ever seen in as far as the NBA. He's on that level as far as footwork. He's on that level. And so a lot of y'all said to me, which is true, because he's on this team, he's going to help a guy like RJ with his footwork. He's going to help a guy. He's going to help everybody. He's going to help Mitchell Robinson with his footwork. He's going to demand things of Julius Randle that Tom Thibodeau wouldn't demand. He is going to be a difference maker. And the fact that he plays the game without using tremendous athleticism, it reduces the risk of him getting hurt. Does that make sense? Y'all hear what I'm saying? So in other words, it's not like he plays above the rim like John Morant. He plays below the rim. He plays on the floor level, and he plays it with his mind. And that lends itself, like once somebody asked Carmelo Anthony, how long do you think you can play? He said, I could play for a long time. He said, I could play till I'm 40. He said, how? He said, because I don't use athleticism for my game. He said, my game is not based on elite athleticism. And I thought about that, and I said, that's right. And that can be said for several players, but in Jalen Brunson's case, that's the situation. He plays the game with his mind and his head, and he's so intelligent. He's actually, as far as basketball IQ, I find him on genius level. People get their IQs measured in general terms in life, and you got people that are very high IQ in their genius level. In terms of basketball IQ, which is a completely different thing, he's genius level, man. This cat is really, really smart, okay? And he's going to help the Knicks a lot. Which brings me, I'm going to go over several places. Some of y'all are asking about Cam. We're going to talk about Cam. But that brings me to Julius Randle. This is the thing that Julius never had in his career. Some of y'all say he never had a point guard. That's not true. He played with Lonzo Ball. He played with Elfrid Payton. He played with Jrue Holiday. Okay? He played with all of those guys. But we're seeing a situation where the stars, so-called, the proverbial stars, are aligning in the sense that Julius is now going to be 28 years old this year. So he's in his prime. He's just had his second child. You got a hopefully stable marriage. So he's a grown man, and he has grown man responsibilities, right? He's used to being in the NBA. He's used to the money now because, it takes guys a while to get used to the money as well. And he's now used to all that. He's used to the NBA lifestyle. And he's at a point in his career because of guys like Thibodaux, where he understands winning and how important it is and how important it is for him to sacrifice things to win. Now, he meets Jalen Brunson, the natural born leader, who's going to demand things. He's going to demand you be in the right spot. He's going to demand you give him the basketball and let him run the offense. He's going to demand you don't miss plays. He's going to tell you when you do. You have that. Thank you for 2189. I know people have harsh criticism, but be mindful when you can plan assets to be traded. Don't distribute in diminishing their value or our returns. Right. Very good, brother. Very good. Always good. 2189. Always good. What was I saying? So it's a perfect storm in that he's at a point in his career where he's ready to listen. And believe me, I don't care what anybody says. He heard the rumors of trades. You combine all of that, and I get the sense that he wants to stay in New York. I thought he wanted to leave. I really thought he wanted to go back to Dallas or to LA. But I get the sense he wants to stay in New York. He's got the point guard. Not only that, he's got Derrick Rose. What does Derrick Rose have to do? Derrick Rose has stated that he's going to be more vocal. That he's called Julius out. You can't whine when somebody get up on you and stuff. You can't be in your feelings. Derrick Rose is going to be important just for that. With Jalen Brunson. And of course, now you got Rick Brunson. Also, did you guys see the game? I watched the game twice last night. I watched it twice last night because there were things I wanted to make sure I saw. Tom is the first time. Now, maybe some of y'all could tell me if this happened before and I didn't see it. But last night was the first time I saw Tom Thibodaux yell at Julius Randle during a game. I'd never seen that before. And it was the play where Julius came down on a fast break. And the guy was running behind him. I think it was Kuzma. I couldn't remember, but he held the guy off with his left hand, and he was dribbling with his right hand, and they called an offensive foul on Julius. And Tom Thibodaux yelled at him, and he said, "What are you doing?" Did you see that? I said, wait, I had to look at that again. I said, wait, did I just see that? That's the first time. I mean, did y'all see? I've never seen in the 3 years Tibbs has been here. This is the third season. I've never seen him do that to Julius Randle. I've never seen him do that. He's done it to all the young guys, but I've never seen him do it to Julius Randle. He yelled at Julius Randle and he said, "What are you doing?" Then it happened. It was 2 times. The second time that it happened, it was later in the game. Julius had the ball on the right foul line extended, pinch post. He catches the ball. And you know what I've been saying to you guys is one of the problems I've had with him is he holds the ball too long, right? He holds the ball too long, allows the defense to adjust, then he turns it over. And so this year, he's been not doing that. He's been making a decision within a couple of dribbles, either pass it, shoot it, or something, and make a decision and move on. That's one of the blessings of his development as a basketball player. But this particular play, he held the ball a little longer. And you can hear Thibodaux from the side saying, "Go, do something like that." And I had to tell, because I said, "Is that Thibodaux?" Because at first I said, "Was that his fan on the side?" No, that was Thibodaux telling him, "Make a move, stop holding the ball." So now you got Jalen Brunson, Derrick Rose, Rick Brunson, and Tom Thibodaux. And Julius is going to respond positively. That's the thing. He's going to respond positively. And he has to this. This was also one of the few times I've seen him do it a couple of times this year where he was about to argue a call. He went to the ref and the ref said something and he just pat the ref on the butt and said, "Okay," and he moved on. That's a major move for Julius Randle, to me, from what I've seen. So that is all boding very, very positive for the Knicks. Very, very positive. Of course, we got to mention RJ Barrett. I think to me, it's pretty plain in the preseason that he put in a lot of work this offseason. Not that he didn't do it before, but now he has put in a lot of work. He's taking another step forward. I hope it means an all-star berth for him. Okay. But he's playing at a much higher IQ. He's making less mental mistakes. His three-point shot is vastly improved for this time of the season for him. He's actually hitting 75% of his foul shots. His defense is improved. He's all around taking the next step, and he is the number 2 option beside Jalen Brunson. It's him and Brunson, and then Julius. And that was shown Friday night because they were the 2 leading scorers. Julius didn't score a lot, but he played a good game, you know. And if we can continue to get that from him, and again, to be fair, and again, I was one that once trailed around and traded, you know, he's starting to win me over a little bit. But to be fair, there's going to be about 2 games, at least, maybe 3, where Julius Randle takes over a game and they keep feeding him, and he's going to drop 35, 40 points, maybe get 15, 20 boards, and he's going to take over a game, and that's it. He's going to be hitting his threes. He's going to be making moves. He's going to be difficult. He's going to be a problem for a couple of guys. There's going to be a couple of games like that. So you got Mitchell Robinson that you're going to see that. You got RJ, you're going to see that. And then, of course, Julius. Last year, I think there were at least 3 Knicks last year that dropped 40. I know Kemba Walker did it. I know Evan Fournier did it, and RJ did it. I can't remember. Did Julius have a 40-point game last year? I want to say he did, but I can't remember. Did Julius Randle have a 40-point game last year? So I know for a fact RJ, he did. Okay, yes. So now you have, okay, now look at it. Look at this. You had 4 players that dropped 40 last year. 4 different guys on your team. And I'm telling you, you're going to have RJ and Julius and Evan Fournier or Grimes or both that can do that. That's right. That's right, Guilford. That's right. It was 46 against Cal. I do remember that. That's right. He did. That's right. So you had 4 different guys drop 40. And then there's Obi who did it at the end of the season. You got 5 different guys drop 40. Now, I don't care if it was the end of the season with Obi. It was an NBA game. He dropped 40 points in the NBA game. So you have 5 different players. Think about that. You have 5 different players on your roster that dropped 40. Now, Kemba's no longer, but you still got 4 of those guys on your roster. And you can't tell me because Jalen Brunson already dropped 40 in the playoffs that he can't do it. You can't tell me he can't do it because I know he can. He dropped 40 in the playoffs. Okay, so now you got a starting 5 where 4 of your starting 5 have dropped 40. And Mitchell Robinson has had more than 1 game of 20 rebounds. Okay. This year, and now we can talk about Mobb Deep, but this year, I have not seen our starting 5 been this tight since it was Tyson Chandler and Carmelo and that crew. This is the tightest starting 5 since that 54-win season. This one right here. Okay. This is a really tight starting 5 that the Knicks have right now. And I'm glad that there's haters out here putting on that normal Knick hate in the national media. Yeah, New York Knicks. Okay, that's all good. Sleep on this. Go ahead, sleep on this, and watch what happens. 45 wins is the minimum this year. I'm telling you, 45 is the minimum. All right. Okay, let's talk about Mobb Deep. Tom Thibodeaux showed growth as a coach. Some of y'all would not have given him that, but he did. Against the second game against Indiana, our starting 5 was outplaying Indiana's starting 5. He could have put the starting 5 back in the game in the 4th quarter and won that game. But what he did instead is he played Mobb Deep all the way through and let them lose the game to teach them. Now, look, it's a long season. I keep telling you it's 82 games. And I use the 5 spot as an example. Mitchell Robinson, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Jericho Sims are all going to play significant minutes this year. It's the long season, y'all. It's a grind. The NBA season, there's a lot of things that make the NBA the toughest league in the world, aside from the best athletes, the quickest athletes, the strongest athletes, the fastest game in the world. It's a grind. It's an 82-game grind, okay? And in the day and age in which we live right now, very few players play 82 games. Very few players. I think last year, there were only 5 players in the entire NBA that played 82 games. Think about that. There's 30 teams. That means there's 150 players in starting 5s. And only 5 of them played 82 games last year. That's how rare it is now. If you can get 70 games out of a guy, you got a good year out of him. Okay? It's really much. There's a lot of things about it. I don't know. I don't want to say soft. What I'm saying is players are coming into the NBA at younger ages. And therefore, people don't recognize you come in younger, you're going to get hurt earlier. Your body's not really all developed yet, though you're bigger, stronger, and faster than most people. See? And so that it's a different game. Back in the day, it was unusual for players to come in before they were 22 years old. Even Jimmy Butler, I tell people, Jimmy Butler's rookie year, he was 22 years old. RJ just turned 22 and he's in his 4th season. That kind of wear and tear comes on any human being. Okay, so you're going to get a higher level of injuries as a result of that. All right, so that's what I'm saying. It's just a different league in terms of how young the guys are that are coming in. You got to remember, basically the shelf life. LeBron, guys like him are an enigma. Guys don't play that long at that high a level, man, without getting hurt. Most guys, and these are the best athletes in the world. They're not going to be able to do that for more than 8 to 10 years. So if they come in the league and they're 19, don't think that they're going to be in their prime like everybody else at 28, 29, 30. They may be at the end of their career. Okay? So he let Mobb Deep, Thibodaux, Tibbs lose. And why? The Knicks have the toughest road schedule in the league to start the season. They're going a West Coast road trip against Phoenix, LA, the Clippers. I think they're playing Portland and then maybe Oklahoma City. They got the toughest West Coast spring. And in there's a back-to-back. The Knicks have, I think, 15 or 13 back-to-backs this season. They have a lot of them between the beginning of the season and December. A lot of them. And so what do I say with that? Tibbs is going to play everybody. He's going to go with a 10-man rotation, which is unusual for him. Usually it's 9. He's going to go with a 10-man rotation. And you're going to see everybody. Arcidiacono is going to play. Everybody's going to be able to play because it's a grind. It's an 82-game season. Guys are going to sprain ankles. Guys are going to pull muscles. You're going to need your bench. And that's why he's playing everybody. He's playing everybody. Now, you're not going to see your two-way guys. Your Farron Hunts and Trevor Keels, you're not going to see them. But everybody that's on the bench is at one point or another, they're going to play. Everybody. They're going to play. And you're going to want them to play. You're going to need them to play. Tibbs knows this. Tibbs knows this. Okay? So the last game, and so you talk about now Mobb Deep. I'm not, first of all, this preseason, they haven't been as strong as what we're used to. We've been spoiled. The Knicks have had one of the best second units in the league. And I still think they have the most talent of any second unit in the league, okay? And you can tell by how stacked it is. So Friday, he played, I was thinking he would have to choose between Cam and Grimes. He played them both. Grimes played 15 minutes and Cam played 9 minutes. So Cam didn't get as much time as Grimes, but I was surprised. Deuce was the odd man out Friday. So he played both Cam and Grimes. Okay. And so, and the Mobb Deep he had, it was Grimes, Cam, Obi, Hartenstein, and then he had IQ running the point. or D Rose. He would shift them back and forth, and then he'd put both of them in, and sometimes have Grimes out and have Cam in. I mean, he really got a lot of options, and I don't expect them to be off for very long. They are mob deep is too deep. They're too good. They're not going to be off for very long. Okay, so you got, again, we're talking about Obi Toppin, Manuel Quickley, Derrick Rose, Quentin Grimes, Cam Reddish, Isaiah Hartenstein, and you still got Deuce McBride. So you got really 6 dudes. And I'm telling you, on any given night, any 4 of them are going to play heavy minutes. Of those 6, any 4 of them are going to play, 4 or 5 of them are going to play heavy minutes for various reasons. Okay, so you're going to need all of them eventually. You're going to need all of them. Okay, and they're learning. So we talked about Cam Reddish, right? I said, and I still believe, Cam Reddish needed to ball out. And why did I say ball out? I said to y'all, I need Cam Reddish to ball because, first of all, I believe he has the talent. And second of all, if he balled out, he would leave Thibodaux with no choice but to start him if he balled out. So let me ask you all this question now. Let's go back in time just to the beginning of the preseason. If Cam had played and scored 20 a game in the 4 games, if he was doing, see, when you want to understand what I expected from Cam Reddish, look at Benedict Mathurin. I expected that from Cam Reddish. Okay, now you see what I'm talking about. If you look at Benedict Mathurin in the preseason, I expected that from Cam Reddish. Okay, I expected that. I expected him to do what we saw Ben Mathurin do. Okay, and he didn't. But let me ask you this. If he was averaging 18 a game over the 4 games, you think he'd be starting now? I guarantee you he would be. There would be no talk of Evan Fournier. It would be Cam Reddish and RJ Barrett on the wing. Okay. I expected that from Cam. And I still believe that he has that type of talent. But unlike Mathurin, he hasn't shown it like that. Y'all saw Mathurin. Y'all saw him twice. Look, he didn't even start. But did he take over? Talk to me. He didn't even start. Did he take over? When he was on the floor, did you know he was there? Can you say that Mathurin played an important role in their winning that last game against us? Huh? Talk to me. Come on, Knicks Nation. You hear what I'm saying? I was looking for Cam to do that. I was looking for Cam. I was looking for Cam to bring me that, man. Okay? I was looking for that. I didn't get it. So what apparently happened, though, is so there's no talk of starting Cam Reddish. But I saw from Friday, Cam Reddish is going to be in the rotation. Not consistently, and this is going to be a problem. See, I'm telling you, you're going to have, like I said, obviously Cam and Grimes, Obi and IQ, D Rose, that's 5. And then you still have Hartenstein and you still have Deuce. That's 7 guys. Okay, that's 7 guys. All right. So you're going to see all those guys play, but they can't all play every night. The guys you're going to see play every night when they're healthy is Obi, D Rose, and Manuel Quickley. They're going to play every night. Hartenstein's going to play every night. As far as the rest of them, it depends on Tibbs, on matchups, on who's hurt or whatever. Okay. Now, so I guess what I'm saying is Cam is not starting. He's not going to be the first guy off the bench, at least not first, but at least he's in the rotation. And maybe he picks it up later in the season like he did last year. Maybe he picks it up now that he's in Thibodaux' system. He's tougher. He stays healthy. And maybe he gets some big minutes later in the season. I'm telling you, everybody's going to get their chance. It's 82 games, y'all. Everybody's going to get their chance. Okay. And nothing is set in stone for this season in terms of everybody playing 82 games. It's not going to happen. So everybody's going to get a chance to play. Okay, everybody is. Cam's gonna get his shot. Deuce is gonna get his shot. Like I said, I believe you're gonna see Archie Diacono get some minutes. Everybody's gonna get a shot to play. It's how many. That's how, because it's a long season. Okay. Obi Toppin. Last night, Friday night, Obi was off. Okay, he was off. He was off. His timing was off. He was missing some easy chippy layups. He was missing some jump shots, and yet that energy is still there. He still brings the energy, and the energy is a positive, man. It's positive. It brings it for the whole team. And speaking of quickly, did you notice he was passing a little bit more Friday night? I think he caught the memo. Somebody talked to him. He was passing more Friday night than he did against the Pacers. He was passing the ball more. Okay. His shot wasn't still there yet. But he's another guy that could get hot at any time and, all of a sudden go off. But he's not been shooting the ball well. But he was passing a lot better Friday. I'm not saying he's still not a point guard, but he was passing better. He found Obi on a couple of long passes, missed one and caught him on two when Obi outruns people out of focus. So he was passing a whole lot better Friday night. And I said somebody must have talked to him, because he was not freezing people out as much as he had been Wednesday night. So again, got to remember, these guys are still young players, and sometimes emotion takes over logic. Brunson's always going to play with logic, but sometimes some of these guys like a Quickly might go on emotion and start freezing everybody out and thinking he Michael Jordan or whatever, and he got to be reeled in. Somebody talked to him. Somebody did talk to him, because he played a lot better game, I thought, Friday night, than he played against the Pacers Wednesday night. And then, so now Grimes, I don't know I think Grimes was on a nut. Wasn't he on a nut? I think Grimes was on a nut Friday night. I think he was. But even though he was on a nut, you can't tell me you didn't see his impact defensively, his movement. Even though he was on a nut, he played, to me, for a guy coming back the way he was coming back. He played very well. He was distributing the best. Let me look at him. I'm looking him up now. Oh, he scored. Wait, did he score? No, he was on a nut. He was on a nut. He was 0 for 2, and he had 1 assist, 1 rebound. The box score don't look like much. Woody Woodpecker, thanks for the $5 super chat. Yeah, no, the box score didn't look like much. But if you saw the game, the box score didn't tell you what he was doing. And his timing was off, for sure. That's right. But you can see it's coming. It's coming. And so he's going to be a mainstay in the rotation. So you're talking about Obi, Quick, Rose, Grimes, Hartenstein. Those 5 are your main rotation pieces. They're going to play the most. And then you're going to have nights where Fournier is going to, miss. Fournier probably will play 72 games, 70 games, right? And so and the reason he's going to be able to play 72 games, first of all, again, he's not an athletic type player, Evan Fournier. He's a tremendous shooter. But number 2, Tibbs don't play him in the fourth quarter usually, unless he's hot. So because he's not going to feel that grind like everybody else, he's probably going to just miss about 10 games, maybe 12. And then Grimes will start, okay? And so Grimes is going to get his chance. Everybody going to get a chance, and Grimes will start, okay? So, and I'm going to tell you all a little sleeper right now. If Brunson doesn't start, whatever reason, sprained ankle, rest, or whatever, back-to-backs, watch for Deuce now. Watch for Deuce. Tibbs sees that Emmanuel Quickly is not a point guard. That ain't no surprise to him. He knows he has 3 point guards: Brunson, D Rose, and Deuce. He knows that. Okay. You're going to see probably D Rose start, probably, but you're going to see Deuce get his chance too. So it's going to be a good season, man. I'm excited. Now, if the Knicks could get through, I don't know how many games they play between, October 19th and December 30th. Let me just take a look at, because if the Knicks can get through this first part of the season, through December, the end of December, and they are winning, if they're in a winning mode by then, let me see, I'm looking at this now. They start October 19th. The last game of the calendar year is at Houston on December 31st. And it looks like they're playing a lot of games. There's one, two. Yeah, they play a good 30, 40 games. Okay. They play a lot of games. Man. So if they can come out by the end of the calendar year, of the Gregorian calendar year, if they can come out of this and they're well above 500, let's say they're 5 games above 500, they're going to be really good. It's a very, very difficult first part of the year for the Knicks. Okay. And that's what I'm telling you. Tibbs is going to be playing everybody. You're going to see the starters get ground up, but I'm hoping he continues the pace that he's doing with Julius and Mitch Rob in playing them, like splitting time with Obi and Hartenstein, because that helps both of them long term. It helps them not wear out so easy. And that's where Cam's going to come in, because if we could not play, how many minutes did RJ play Friday? I didn't even see how many minutes he played. He played a lot of minutes. I think he played, but for him, it wasn't like, RJ usually plays over 30 minutes. He's in the top 3 in the league in minutes played. But let me see, and during his tenure. But Friday night, I don't think he played. I think he played like 29 minutes, I want to say. Let me see here. Friday night, RJ played. Where is it? He played 33. Yeah, well, see, there you go. He played 33 minutes. Randall played 28. Mitchell Robinson played 29. Brunson played 31. Fournier played 16. Obi played 18. So Randall played 28. Obi played 18. That's 46 minutes out of the 48. Hartenstein playing 17. And then you have Mitchell Robinson 29. That's 46 minutes out of 48. I'm a little nervous about that. I'd like him to play those guys a little less minutes and give the bench a little bit more minutes, because you want to preserve your guys. This is going to be a grind, okay? 21-89. Cam got to break out like Obi from the bench before trades. Yeah, I hope he does. I'm pulling for Cam. Like a lot of us are pulling for Cam Reddish. I'm pulling for Cam Reddish. I believe the boy got talent. I believe he's got upside. I think I just need him to show it. I need him to show it consistently. So let's hope that he does. And so if he does, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. He didn't ball out like I expected for the preseason, but he's going to be in the rotation. So RJ, I believe, RJ played 33 minutes. I thought that was too much. I didn't like that. Played 33 minutes Friday. Yeah, I hope Tibbs don't continue to do that. That's Tibbs' Achilles heel, man. And then Tibbs played Reddish 9 minutes. Toppin played 18, Hartenstein 17, Rose 14, Quickly 20. So he went with more of the guards, it looks like, the small lineup. But he didn't play Reddish a lot. To me, the rotation is guys that play 10 minutes or more. So he had really, on Friday, you had 10 guys: Toppin, Hartenstein, Rose, Quickly, and Grimes. There were 5 off the bench that played at least 10 minutes or more. So Cam was a little outside of that Friday, okay. No, I got my wife and I have been invited to dinner. Some of our neighbors up the road invited us to dinner, so we're going to be there. So we won't be watching the Giants game. I got to go pick up my stepmom from the assisted living, the place my father don't want to come, and all that. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna be busy. I'm gonna be busy today. I won't be able to see the game. Yeah. I'm all into the Giants, baby. I'm following them, though. I'm following them. They got my attention this year. They always been my squad. I've been a Giants fan since Fran Tarkenton. That's how far back I go. I've been a Giants fan since Fran Tarkenton. And yeah, and then of course I was really happy when Lawrence Taylor was drafted, and they got Bill Parcells and Lawrence Taylor together. I kind of knew that was going to be. They were 4-12 their first year together, but I knew that was going to change. That wasn't going to, that was going to be different. But here we go. Yeah, I am old as dirt. Richard said, "Yeah, you're old as dirt." No, I'm older than dirt. I'm older than dirt, bro. I'm older than dirt, but I still got it though. 2189. Hoping our Hydra comes to life. So much death. That's right. I think so. Yeah, man. Yeah, so I wanted us to touch base. Knicks Nation, I don't want to hold y'all up from the game. It's coming up. But I wanted to touch base because I'm excited about this team. I'm excited about this season. 45 plus is still what I'm holding on. A minimum 45 games. They could win more. Depends on injury, depends on camaraderie and all of that. They could win more. I still got it. You could ask, no, I'm gonna say you can ask my wife, but I still got it, baby. Don't worry about it. Your boy still rolling, baby. Still rolling. See, still rolling. Yeah, I think they can go up to 50. I'm gonna go with my man Lee on this one. I think they can go up to 50. But yeah, 45 to me is the minimum. I think they're gonna get 45, at least 45 and 37. They could be better than that. We'll see. The focus is RJ and Brunson, with Randall as the third option. And then you have Fournier as a spot up shooter. And then and he can be a dangerous fourth option. And then, of course, you have Mitchell Robinson, who make himself an option because he's now learned to seal his man off and to get the ball on the down low. And, of course, if you don't watch him, he's going to kill you on the offensive boards. So, yeah. So, to me, it's RJ and Brunson, and then Randall, and then Fournier. Yeah. Yep. And then you got Mobb Deep. I'm excited about Mobb Deep. The Knicks, to me, will have the best five coming off the bench in the NBA. I think so. I believe they got the best bench in the NBA. And so that's going to be huge as we get down. We start playing these games in December, January, February. It's going to be huge. Okay. But, yeah, I want to thank y'all for coming out today. And especially, early, the way y'all did. Please be safe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the Giants game if you're watching the Giants. I don't know. Do the Jets play today? Let me see. Do the Jets play today? Is the Jets playing today? I don't follow the Jets as much as I follow the Giants, even though I'm from Long Island. I should follow the Jets more. But are they playing today? Are the Jets playing today? Let me see what the deal is. The Jets are playing today at 4:05 against. No, not today. No, they're playing the Packers. Ooh, they're playing against the Pack today. Ooh, they playing Green Bay today. Yeah, they got a tough game. They're also playing that one. Okay, so the Giants and the Jets playing that one. All right, man. Let's get these W's. NYC. Let's get these W's. Let's get these W's. That's right. Let's get these dubs. All right. Y'all enjoy the games. Be safe. Okay. Hug your loved ones. Hug your wives and your spouses. Enjoy it. Take care. We'll talk soon. We're going to talk before the game coming up Wednesday against Memphis. We're going to preview that probably Tuesday. We'll go into that unless something else happens. But, yeah, you please be safe out there. Thank you again. Thank you all y'all for the super chats. Greatly appreciate your support. Thank all y'all for your camaraderie, for being Knicks Nation, for putting in your 2 cents. Praise the Most High. Even you, Keith. Where Gumby at? Gumby ain't here today. Anyway, even Gumby, all of y'all, be good.